Alright, wasn't even going to make a video here. Was actually going to go to bed, but it's just so ridiculous. So, the Broncos game, whatever, didn't even really watch the whole game. Just talk about a few completely rigged parts. But as I came to Yahoo here just to see what was up, I noticed this article here. Famed 715 announcer dies. He was the famed broadcaster of Hank Aaron's 715th home run. Now, it all has to go, it goes back to Moses again. Even talks about the 50 that I just talked about. But, anyway, Moses' brother is Aaron. I knew they were going to start doing stuff with Aaron in the news. I don't know if I mentioned it in my previous videos, but Moses and Aaron was Moses' brother, and they're running all these Moses themes, so you knew there was going to be some Aaron stuff. So I wouldn't doubt if tomorrow when I wake up there's some other stories that have something to do with the word Aaron in it. But this Chiefs game, I forgot that the Chiefs not only is Nebraska. I've been so hung up on Nebraska because it's in Lincoln, and it's all about Abe Lincoln. And Lincoln freed the slaves, and Moses freed the slaves. But Kansas City Chiefs also are the Sea of Red. Their fans are the Sea of Red. And also to go along with this, so I made a video a long time ago about all of the first black whatever were dying in the month of February, Black History Month. But you also had Harvey Pollack, the guy who announced the famous Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. He died this year 106 days after his birthday, his 93rd birthday. And then now this guy dies, so they had basketball and now a baseball famous announcer of a famous game or whatever dying. So it's kind of interesting. So let's just click on this article really quick. Kind of read through it. He died at the age of 88 even. Wow. It's craziness. Alright. Before I even read it, I just want to do some gematria. So we'll do Milo Hamilton. $141. Really. The mirrors of 14 and 41. And I've talked, I don't know how many 41s I did down here about the Nebraska stuff. Moses Malone, Skull and Bones Husker fans. Man, there was a ton of stuff. I did all the stuff about 60. There was a ton of 60 recently, all tying in with Nebraska and Moses. Let's check it out and Pythagorean. 60. No way. It's a completely planned death or something. There's just no way. Unbelievable. And so that guy called Hank Aaron's game or whatever, the one where he beat Babe Ruth. And Hank Aaron, born in 1934. Interesting. Also from Mobile, Alabama, which I just talked about. Mobile, Alabama being on the 88th, Meridian or whatever, 88 West. And talked with the falling theme in the U.S. Open, the tennis U.S. Open. But check this out. Look at Hank Aaron. When he broke this record and they called this game, not only was he number 44, he played for the Braves. Interesting because Moses Malone, that just died, also played for a team called the Braves that they turned out to be the San Diego Clippers, and then the Los Angeles Clippers are now what used to be the Braves. And he breaks Babe Ruth's record as a Brave. So, just interesting. He also broke the record then against Al Downing. This is the guy who pitched the ball, born in 1941. Another significant number that I have been talking about with Moses and whatnot. So, Hank Aaron. And it even talks about Milo Hamilton down here. What's interesting is that it's Atlanta Braves. So, what else did we just have in the news recently? It all ties into the tennis thing because the fan fell down and died or whatever out of the upper deck or whatever, right? So interesting, it would be the Atlanta Braves, I guess. And look how old the fan was. The fan was 60-year-old Gregory K. Murray. What are the odds of that? That's all the 60 stuff that I've been talking about. So, pretty crazy. And you know what else? The Braves play at Turner Field. Let's look at Turner Field in Gematria. 60. The 60-year-old died at Turner Field. That adds up to 60. You know, and you read down here in his Wikipedia, you read about his family life. You just can't make this up. His wife of nearly 53 years, Arlene, died at age 73 in February 2005. They had 2 children, Mark and Patricia. The Hamiltons' daughter, Patricia Joy Hamilton Watson, a former Delta Airlines flight attendant, died on July 10, 2006 in Atlanta, 3 weeks after suffering from a stroke. Really? So, you had the Delta State university shooting. It was all about Moses, and then they even mention on here that his daughter worked for Delta Airlines for whatever the reason. Makes no sense. And just look at her name in Gematria. Patricia Joy Hamilton Watson. 311, and then also 113. So the mirrors of each other. I've talked about this number a lot. I mean, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, both add up to 113. 311 is like the KKK stuff. There's probably a lot more. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. It's not even really that important, other than she worked at Delta Airlines. And I guess while I'm thinking of Delta, I forgot to mention in the last videos, I just found it interesting. For one, you got the River Delta, or the Nile River, which, once again, goes back to the Bible, whatever. But, which I could probably talk a lot more. But Delta, in the Greek letters, it has a value of 4. And then it was Shannon Lamb, so I thought Lambda, isn't that what the Revenge of the Nerds is in? But Lambda has a value of 30, so 30 and 4. Well, I can find it, 30, and then Delta is 4, so that would be another 34 reference. I mean, who knows? His real name even is Leland Milo Hamilton. And in Gematria, Leland Milo Hamilton is 81 in Pythagorean Gematria, and Hank Aaron is 81 years old right now. Anyway, in this article, up here they say Hamilton, a Hall of Famer, spent 50 years broadcasting MLB games. And then it goes on to tell you that he spent over half of his career calling games from 1985 until he retired in 2012. So there's the 85 they're mentioning. And he did the Houston Astros or whatever. But up top it says 50 years, and then down here it says the commissioner of the MLB says during his 60 years covering our game, Milo became one of the blah, 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 you know, so, and he even mentions the 85 again, so I don't know if it's 50 or 60, but either way, it's been pretty significant for today. I mean, his name is 60, Turner Field is 60. The headline even showed. I just want to come back down and show some of these 60s of as recent or whatever. So you had, let's see here, Abraham Lincoln is 60. Lincoln, Nebraska is 60. I'll skip over them ones because it's hard to explain. The word Malone is 60. You just had Moses Malone, who died, like I said. Santiago, Chile just had a huge earthquake. 60. Moses was from the tribe of Levi. 60. Nebraska Cornhuskers, they already killed Herbie, the love bug guy, so Little Red is their other mascot. 60. Cleveland, Mississippi, where the Delta State University shooting happened, the town was originally called Sims. 60. I mean, it's just craziness. There's a ton more references. Pearl Harbor is 60, but who knows here. So, I mean, also, this guy dies then the same day that the Broncos beat the Chiefs. But look, so, anyway, this guy was born on September 2nd, which is also like 2-9 or 9-2. And then it says he received the Ford Frick Award from the Baseball Hall of Fame in 92. So 2-9, 9-2, 9-2 again, 2-9. Also, the Ford Frick Award seems like it's all about Abraham Lincoln and Moses and freeing the slaves and parting the Red Sea and whatnot. So Ford, Abe Lincoln died in Ford's Theater. but I barely watched the Chiefs game, and at the end of the game, it was all about 29. So, like I said, the Chiefs play at the Sea of Red or whatever. It's all a Moses reference. Interesting, it was only a 21-yard return, but what's stupid about it is the announcers made it clear more than once if you actually watch this game. I wish I would have DVR'd it. They tell you it is number 29 returned it for 29 yards. And they refer to it more than once, but he really only returns it for 21 yards. But let's just watch the play. So the ball gets knocked out. Number 29 picks it up, runs it in, and scores. But let's see who knocks it out here. Number 54 is the one who knocks the ball out. And interesting that the score is 31-24. So 24 plus 30 is what they scored because he knocked the fumble out, 54. But, I mean, I'm telling you, they announced it number 29, a 29-yard return or whatever. So, just to confuse you, but it's even more interesting that it was a 21-yard return because it's all about the 12 and the 21. I've talked about that in all the Nebraska videos. It deals with the 12 tribes of Israel. So, the guy who fumbled it was Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles, 41. I mean, do I need to go back down here and show you all the 41 stuff I talked about with Nebraska? They play in Memorial Stadium. Their coach, when they became the Black Shirts, was this guy, adds the 41. He died on May 9th, adds the 41. Black Shirts, 41. Husker fans, 41. Skull and Bones, that's all about the Black Shirts, 41. Moses Malone, 41. I mean, it's ridiculous. Even the Milo Hamilton, 141, like the Mirrors. And number 29, who ran it in for the touchdown, was Bradley Roby. And his name adds up to 55. So, thought that was interesting considering that the Broncos beat the Chiefs 31-24, which adds up to 55. I've also talked about how I've been seeing the 55 coded a lot with the Nebraska Cornhusker games. There was a ton of 34 and 55. Interesting, too, that it was Jamal Charles' 21st carry on the 21st yard line that got whatever, and his longest yard or run was 34 yards. And look at their total rushing yards. It's all about that. Well, they had 29 carries, and then number 29 runs it in. And then 144 we've talked about tons and tons of times. Oh man, it's just craziness. This was also the first game back for the Kansas City Chiefs player Eric Berry. Eric Berry, number 29, because he had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So he makes his comeback, and then the crazy rigged play at the end where number 29 runs it in. And Eric Berry in Gematria is the 58 that we've seen coded a ton of times. So, in all of these recent events, all the theater shootings, I mean, just the last 2 months, tons of stuff. It also deals with Biff and Doc Brown and Back to the Future. Like I said, I barely even looked into this. Just felt like posting it because it was the Aaron thing, but this is the day Harvey Pollack died, the Wilt Chamberlain announcer, and this is the day the Milo guy died today. It's a span of 86 days. Interesting because Jamal Charles was the one who fumbled the ball. He was born in the year 86, and Broncos in Gematria is also 86. Another thing I just discovered is it was the guy who ran it in, number 29, was Bradley Roby. Roby is 60. Interesting. And he was number 29, 50. Just like the Chiefs in simple Gematria. 50. Another thing is that I wish I would have recorded the game because the score was 17-17 for a long time. And in Gematria, Moses equals 71 and 17. Moses Eugene Malone 71, the Ten Commandments 71. But who knows? If I find the game, I'll make another video Just wanted to make this quick video. It's just so rigged and ridiculous. Have a good night.